Begins, you know the drill. Again. Payday, Friday, payday, Friday, payday, Friday, payday, Friday. Working late, no debate. Punch that code, elevate. Flip the trade, check the rate. Bills run wild, still a fade. Payday, Friday, payday, Friday, payday, Friday, payday, Friday. Trade, right, right, trade, right, payday, Friday, payday, Friday, payday, Friday, payday, Friday, payday, Friday, payday, Friday, payday, Friday. Run it back.
Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. What's up, brothers? It is a beautiful Friday. It is a beautiful Payday Friday. It's a beautiful rip out your MILF shirt because, man, I like finance. I like felines. It's going to be a good day. We're back at it again. Another episode of your wife's favorite trader. And ideally, we can make some money today. S&P 500 looking pretty good. NASDAQ looking pretty lame. Bitcoin attempting to recover. And then we actually do have an interesting story related to UNH, the healthcare provider that's been falling. Well, out of nowhere, it gets a 10% pop as it's reported that every man, woman, and child on Wall Street is apparently buying it now. So we got to chit chat about that. Early this morning, we had the retail sales report. It wasn't anything special. Little good, little bad, and a little drop, a little pop. Just kind of setting us up for an interesting day. The S&P 500 appears to be having a gap up situation, opening above yesterday's high, while the NASDAQ is actually opening as of right now, and obviously a lot can change in the next 25 minutes, opening below yesterday's low. So the overall market on a relative basis looking a bit stronger than the tech sector in the pre-market session right now. But obviously, as you guys know, on a monthly OPEX Friday, that's exactly what we have today. This isn't just a daily, this isn't just a weekly, this is the monthly OPEX. So on days like this, you never know what's going down. You never know what's going down. So the plan of the day is this. I'm going to get you guys ready for the market open. Then we're going to make sure that the newest version of the robo system is up and live. The new name for the system, it was decided upon yesterday. It is the God of Luck. Tish. She's the goddess. She's actually the goddess of luck. It felt appropriate for this because it feels like I'm going to need quite a bit of luck to be able to grow these accounts and get the payout. So I figured that's a pretty freaking good name. Trex, Ned moved. Ned did move. I forgot Ned was alive. And then I looked at Ned and I was like, wow, Ned's really living. And you could see that he's been reaching out for the sun. My window's over here. So Ned, I wanted to help him out. I wanted to make his pathway to vitamin D and the sun a little bit easier. So I'm excited. I'm excited about Ned crushing it. I'm excited about the birth, the Phoenix X-esque situation of the system. The fact that we have not only just an OPEX Friday, not just a Friday where we get to all at 4 p.m. put our mice down and pick our margs up, but it is in fact a Payday Friday. Payday Friday. So we're going to be giving away some accounts from Vanquish for sim defunded stuff. We are going to be giving away $150 of cold hard cash. And as always, lucky competitors will be able to represent your homeland in the competition of the marble race. So everyone get ready. It's going to be a day. And also, we're going to be able to track my vitals. We're going to be able to see what's going on with my heart rate. We're going to be able to see what's going on with my stress score. Apparently, I sleep like an infant child. And I don't mean that in a good way. But day one of my sleep and my recovery was only like 30%. So I'm already starting off kind of on my heels on this situation. For anyone who has a Whoop, you know that it tracks various things related to you and your life and your recovery and your strain and your stress and your heart rate, this, that, the other thing. Well, apparently I sleep like a child. And when I say that, I don't mean like a child that's like good at sleeping. I mean one that's up every 15 minutes screaming. For some reason, my highest stress level of the day, I shit you not, was when I was sleeping. At some point around 2 a.m, my stress level just absolutely fucking skyrocketed. So probably should figure that one out. Yo, Mike sent 5 Matt Kohrs Show gift memberships. That's so from Kimmel Design. Shout out to Kimmel Design. And look at all the lucky winners we already have in chat today. It's going to be a good day, folks. We got to manifest it. It's going to be a nice money-making day. So as you can see, S&P 500 above yesterday's high. NASDAQ is pretty much at yesterday's close. I will be talking about UNH. That's probably the main equity that's getting the major news recently. And then obviously we're still watching bitty Bitcoin because we're wondering if it's actually going to keep pumping and hold the new all-time high. So as you can imagine, we have a lot to get into. S&P 500 futures rise, heads for big weekly gain after solid retail sales data. So at 8:30 a.m. ET, we got the retail sales, and they actually didn't really beat. Sales came in at 0.5. The expectation was 0.6. And then obviously you could look at X-Auto and then the control group. But what the market is liking is the revisions. So for whatever reason, it feels like the past couple weeks have almost been on this idea of like, well, give us the data, but what we really care about is the past data that you gave us. You lied about it. Now we want the real numbers. And obviously there's a lot more to it than just that, but I did want to let you know what the market is liking right now is the revision from last month, and that's actually what's given the market a little bit of optimism early this morning. So that's kind of the skinny on that. I'll come back to it, but I do want to remind you that today is the day where a lot's going down in Alaska. Trump and Putin head to high-stakes Alaska summit with clashing objectives. The two leaders are meeting in person for the first time since the start of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. I've been pitching this to you guys all week of this could go either way. This could be really, really good. It could be really, really bad. And I would say there's even an argument it might end up absolutely being nothing because it's such just a pile of unknowns. It really, really, really is. If this goes well, great. You're taking uncertainty out of the global stage. Things can calm down and we can continue our trip higher. If things boil over and it gets worse, we could take a couple steps back. Or, and this is probably the highest probability pathway, we could end up having a conversation between the two of them. And they're like, yeah, we kind of made some progress, but not as progress as like as much as we wanted to make. And it's kind of like a nothing burger. That's also obviously an option, but this is going down. It's going down soon. Nothing is off the table as Trump and Putin set to meet. The Russian and U.S. presidents are set to begin their summit at 11:30 a.m. local time, as in pretty much right before the market closes today, 3:30 p.m. ET. Because remember, Alaska, they don't really believe in the linear nature of time. They're in a completely different time zone. So I just want to let you know, and it's going down in Anchorage. Imagine the security. I was really thinking about this. Like, do they just have the Secret Service, like our best Secret Service agents, and then the equivalent that for Putin? And then are they just like awkwardly standing side by side? I honestly would love to know a bit more about the effort and the details that go into the security when you have the U.S. president sitting down with the Russian president. Like, is it just all like Secret Service looking at each other all day, mad dogging each other, no blinking, a gazillion different guns? Like, I just want to know. I would love to know just the awkwardness between the security and how difficult it is. And also, like, do they eat lunch together? Like, what's the food sitch? Are they like, is one of them just going to crack open a Lunchables? And then all of a sudden, the other one's like, oh, you got nachos? I wanted the pizza one. And they go halvesies? Do you think potentially that this entire global conflict might be solved over like a nice round of Lunchables? Like, I know it's low odds, but it's definitely non-zero. Definitely non-zero. Oh, by the way, this is also important. Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky was not invited to this event. So that was kind of up in the air as of last weekend. So I just want to throw this out there that as of right now, and it seems like the situation changes quite a bit, but as of this moment, it is being reported that Ukraine's Zelensky will not be there. Trump and Putin have different ideas of success at Alaska Slummet. I guess I have not had enough coffee today, as they're just slumming it in Alaska.
A high-stakes meeting between President Trump and President Putin is set to unfold in Anchorage, Alaska. It's Trump's first face-to-face with Putin since his return to the White House. It's been 10 years since Putin set foot on U.S. soil and marks the first leader-to-leader summit since Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Friday's meeting is a gamble for Trump, though, as he tries to broker a peace agreement. Initially, the president said there may be, quote, some changes in territory after Russia's invasion and occupation. But earlier this week, he sought to downplay expectations.
This is really a feel-out meeting.
They're filling each other up over their Lunchables.
President Putin invited me to get involved. He wants to get involved. I believe he wants to get it over with. Now, I've said that a few times, and I've been disappointed. There's a very good chance that we're going to have a second meeting, which will be more productive than the first, because the first is I'm going to find out where we are and what we're doing.
Putin is demanding Ukraine give up the Donetsk and Luhansk regions as a condition to push for a ceasefire and enter negotiations. But there's a crucial figure missing in Anchorage, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who's ruled out Putin's territorial bid. Anne-Marie Hordern, Bloomberg News.
Man, that was some like serious reporting, and a serious figure who's going to be missing out, Vladimir Zelensky. Like, she really like gave it almost like that classic Hollywood news anchor delivery. Maybe that's how I should start doing this show with you guys. Like, maybe it's time that I grow up and stop fucking around and actually give you guys the news that you deserve. I'm Matt Kohrs reporting from Matt Kohrs Live, and just hitting the news, China's economy slows sharply as trade war bites. Ouchie. Something like that? Is that where we should bring this like particular delivery and newscast from? I could try it again. Just in, China July unemployment rate hits 5.2% when the expectation was 5.1. China retail sales rise to 3.7% year over year when the expectation was 4.6. And last but not least, China's industrial output rises to 5.7% when the Wall Street was expecting 6.0. I'll tell you what, Darcy, we all expect 6, but we're going to settle for 4. Something like that. I feel... Is that what I'm missing out on? Like, would that bring me to is that why they're not calling me back when I'm like, oh, I'll be the news anchor? No teleprompter needed. No, I just say what the voices in my head are ripping these days. I just say what the voices in my head tell me to say. And sometimes they're a little crazy. This is the voice that narrates my life. Oh, I feel bad for you on that one. All right, so anyway, you get the idea that China's a little bit suspect, as it has been. It just feels like they're kind of losing their, I don't know, their vibe a little bit. Like, we all used to say, like, China. Like, that's who we're going against. Especially, like, when we all get into those, like, nationalistic feels when the Olympics come around. They're like, fucking China, they better not get more golds than us. But it honestly feels like they've just been, I don't know, doing their own thing lately, and it doesn't seem to be that good of a thing. So anyway, economy not looking so good, but bringing it back to the U.S., retail sales are slightly missing, but the revision to last month's numbers is exactly why the S&P 500 is actually looking good. But you know what's in the S&P 500? A bunch of individual equities, and we should chit-chat about that. So we're still in earnings season. Granted, there's pretty much only one major equity left, and that major equity also happens to be the world's biggest company. It goes by the name of NVIDIA, ticker symbol NVDA. Not reporting next week. It's actually the week after. I want to say it's like the 27th. Yes, it is reporting on the 27th. So we have about a week and a half to get that last guy, and then that pretty much wraps up earnings season for this particular session. Even though it didn't have earnings, the big news is actually related to Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway and UNH. Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway reveals new stake in beleaguered insurer United Health. I want you guys to know that the only reason I know that word is because it was an SAT word. And I thought, man, I'm learning this for this test and I'm never going to fucking use it again. But look at that. 15-year-old Mateo was wrong. How would I have ever been able to survive this particular show reading that particular headline had I not learned that word for the SATs? So I guess shout out to the SATs. We're at this awkward point where 15 years later, I'm finally using one thing that I learned from that event. So yeah, suck it, college. Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway bought more than 5 million shares in United Health last quarter for a stake worth about $1.6 billion. You know, he probably just had to shake his couch out to get that. He's like, all right, I got that somewhere. Berkshire also added stakes of D.R. Horton, Lennar, and Nucor while trimming its Apple and Bank of America positions. I feel like Berkshire Hathaway's been trimming its Bank of America positions since I was fucking born. Every time we get these quarterly updates from Berkshire Hathaway, it's like trimming Bank of America. I don't know what's going on, but that definitely seems to be what's up. So Berkshire Hathaway wasn't the only one to throw a lot of money into UNH. Also, Burry did. Michael Burry joins Buffett's Berkshire in scooping up United Health shares. There was also another hedge fund, and then also even Renaissance picked it up. But on the Renaissance note, remember that they're not really investors. They're active traders. So basically on the day of the report, they had the position. But for all we know, they could already be out of the position. These other players are legit investors, and I would say it's safe to assume that they're actually still in it. And it is making news because UNH has been getting its dick kicked in, and like hard, not even in the good way. I mean, this thing, it basically pumped from 250 up to 630, vomited from 630 all the way down to 300, and it's already up 11.5% in pre-market on the report that pretty much all mothers, brothers, and sisters on Wall Street are now buying it. So I used to have this in my long-term account to get some of these dividend payments. And then when it was getting beat up in here, I decided to drop it. But I have to admit, maybe not the worst time to cop some for another long-term investment. Free Luigi? You mean the murderer? I don't know if that's necessarily what we should be doing as a society, freeing people who murdered a dad. That maybe is potentially one of the dumbest things you've ever said. Generally not good for society just to let our murderers out who are obviously mentally unwell type of people. Just go general sense, murdering not a good thing. Generally not a good thing. But yes, this is the company where the CEO was actually killed somewhat near me in Manhattan. He was shot by that Luigi whatever dude, and it Yeah, I mean, obviously that, and then they also, this isn't the only reason the stock went down. It was more so going down because they were being accused of Medicare fraud. And then obviously, when it comes to the world of health insurance, you also have to consider shifting political winds and how that's going to impact the insurance industry. So I don't know. I used to have a position on it. I might consider getting another one. Once again, my long-term account, I wouldn't be doing any active trading on this one. But I just wanted to let you guys know what's up with why it's popping. It's just because everyone's freaking buying it. On a different note, Trump administration said to discuss taking a stake in Intel. Well, this is really interesting because wasn't it just last week that Trump was calling the Intel CEO stupid? So that's a vibe. The U.S. is discussing taking a stake in Intel. Kind of the same vibes of what was happening with NVIDIA and AMD, where they're like, you know what? We're going to take 15% of your revenue. Deal talks follow Trump's public call for replacement of the CEO over his ties to Chinese businesses. So feels like something a little bit fishy's going on in the background. I obviously am not invited to these calls, so I don't know exactly what's happening, but I'm not necessarily sure I like how much the government's like, hey, guess what, team? We're involved in a bunch of private businesses now. Kind of has some communistic vibes, and I'm not necessarily sure I want the government picking winners and choosers, or winners and losers, and choosing where they're getting equity and bullying all these companies into doing certain things. I'm curious to see how this is going to settle, but it feels like we're kind of getting into some murky waters, doesn't it? It kind of feels like we're doing the exact same thing a bunch of countries have done historically, and we fight those countries for doing those things. And we're like, hey, that's not a free market. Don't do that. And then now, circa 2025, we're doing it. So I don't know. I kind of want the details to come out before we rush to any, I don't know, large judgments at this point, because like I said, it's murky. We don't have that much information. In reality, we don't even have that much information of the NVIDIA AMD thing going on. We have some headlines. We have the idea of having some ideas, but until the actual verifiable information comes out that holistically tells the story, maybe, I don't know. It's not rubbing me the right way. That's for sure. All right, if you haven't already, sign up for the newsletter, mattcohrs.locals.com. It's in the description of the video. And today you might as well do it because guess what? We are doing another Payday Friday giveaway sponsored by Vanquish, 35% off and one free reset. So we are going to give away $150 of cold hard cash, 3 of these Vanquish accounts. And of course, if you want to go get one from Vanquish, they're going to be ending this deal soon. 35% off, one free reset with that code Goonie. So shout out to Vanquish right here. The way I'm always doing this sim to funded on futures. Well, if you actually end up liking to trade options more, if you're like, hey, futures are cool, but I'm more of an options person, this is by far the best one for sim to funded option trading. So if you want to work on your strategy or just take less risk in general, it's the exact same concept of if you trade well, follow those rules, you could get payouts, but you're risking less capital. Vanquish is the best one to do it, in my humble opinion, in the world of options. And right now with that code Goonie, once again, 35% off and a free reset if your first test doesn't go well. We're giving away 3 of those accounts, $150 of cold hard cash. And obviously, I've been on a little bit of a tear with my Vanquish account lately. I'm up about 7K. I have a 50K account of the advanced options, and I'm at the point where I think if I do 1 or 2 good trades today, I could actually start requesting some of this money out. So I'm right there. So hopefully I don't completely fumble that one today. But we're going to be doing the giveaway in the marble race probably closer to 10:30ish, depending on what's happening in the market. So great time to sign up for locals because that's exactly how you could enter a couple times there. Then we're also going to be picking someone from YouTube and also someone from Rumble. So take advantage of the freebie. The newsletter has always been free, always will be free, but you could also upgrade to the premium tier to get access to the Discord, and that will also give you access to today's giveaway. But remember, the first month's free anyway if you use that code Goonie. Pretty much if it comes to anything that we're talking about, any of the software I use, if you use that code Goonie, there's a really high odds chance that you're going to get some sort of discount. I like to keep the code the same, just makes life a lot easier. Anyway, You've seen this before. If you're returning to the show, you've seen the newsletter. I just want to remind you that out of all trading days of this week, this is the seasonally strongest day. Over the past 27 years worth of data, the better part of 3 decades, the bulls have won this day 67% of the time, as in they have a 17% edge. Generally, the market is distributed in a 54 to 46 on the daily bars. 54% of the time, the bulls win. That's normal. So right here, obviously, there's a bit of an edge, especially above the 50-50 coin flip. The profit factor is 2.62, which means the bulls are very dominant. And here's a look at the hypothetical equity curve you would have if you bought at open and sold at close on the S&P 500 futures market for this day. Obviously, it started off slow, but then over the past 10-ish years, we're really starting to show that bullish dominance. So is this the end all be all? No, it isn't. I always remind you, I'm giving you the odds right here, but obviously we're looking for those opportunities that it's more likely than not that we're on the right side. So when you pair this together with maybe other strategies and other filters, that's when you really start cooking with gas. So I should also probably show you where we're at. We hit an all-time high on Thursday. Yesterday, we had that gap down because of the weak PPI report. Basically, inflation came in way higher than expected for producers. And then we did recover, technically closing in the green. So I would say that was a win on the SPY. But the Nasdaq still slightly in the red. But based on from where we opened in the low of the day, definitely a big win in my book. And now it's going to come to today where basically if we can push, well, and looks like we're already about to, we're at 6476. 6476. Where in the world did this go? So we are right roughly where my cursor is. So we are getting a small little baby gap up. So there is a downside gap fill to yesterday's high at 6474. And then we have the high before that at 80, which is actually the all-time high, and that's exactly why I have an alert there. The dashed green line is the all-time high in the S&P 500. As I always do, I mark out the previous trading sessions high, low, and close, the solid green, the solid red, and the solid white. This time around, I also added the 2 trading sessions ago, high and low, just because it's the all-time high, and then this one's also an important breakdown level. So basically, if you see green and red, just know it's recent trading sessions, high and low. Very important. The white block, as always, is the transition zone with respect to gamma and delta on a 0 DTE basis, which is very important today because it is the monthly OPEX. And then the final thing on the screen are these yellow horizontal lines, which are the key open interest levels, as in just the levels where a lot of people have a lot of positions. So expect the market to react there. On the screen right now is the gamma map. You can see there's quite a bit of negative gamma at 6,500, meaning there's quite a few like long calls exactly for that play. People are actively betting on the S&P 500 hitting 6,500 today. Will it happen? Your guess is as good as mine. I'm just telling you where the large money bets are at, and I'll have a better idea of it when we actually can see the market open. And really specifically, I want to see the delta flow, and also if the big guys are continually hitting the bid or if they're continually hitting the ask, I want to see that. So the setup as of right now, I would say it's the bulls' day to lose. I would argue that the bulls, from most data measurement standpoints, are in control, but obviously we've seen crazy shit before. But going into this, my personal bias based on the data is bullish, and then my personal desire and wishes is very bullish because I still have about 6 figures in calls that are expiring next week and the week after. So there is a bit of optimism. So maybe I'm not the most unbiased person to ask about this one because I very much want it to rip to kingdom come. But right now, unique situation. The SPY appears to want to be opening above the high from yesterday, while the Qs are basically just trying to open in the green. UNH, I covered that story. You kind of know what's going on there. It's not a stock that I find that interesting. But to get going on the day, Netflix had a really good day yesterday. Oh, and it looks like it's actually pushing higher into close, or into open, excuse me. So we could watch that one. How's Meta doing? Meta's also kind of in the green. What else is green? Avago's a little red, Apple's a little green, Palantir's a little red, Microsoft's a little green, Nvidia's a little red, Tesla's a little green, Coin's a little red. All right, we'll put up Netflix and Meta just to get going on the day. But also I want to make sure, birth of the new system. She was birthed yesterday. This is Taish, the goddess of luck. I think I have her exactly where I wanted. Yesterday was almost a perfect systematic day. Today, fingers crossed that it is, in fact, a perfect systematic day. But we are going to be finding out very, very shortly. We have less than a minute to go. Let me check that out. Okay, that's exactly how it should be. I just want to make sure I have everything on. All right, the account leading there is 79. All right, all those 79s, that is good. The account leading here is 70. That is good. That one is off as it should be. And then the one over here is 72. Folks, I think we're ready. So I have the 5 take profit accounts, I have the 5 Tradeify accounts, I have the 20 Apex accounts, and then I have the sim accounts to individually test the strategies. And this is just for me to do some out of sample testing. So if it starts with SIM, just know that's me, like kind of in play box mode, like sandbox mode, not like these ones really don't matter at all. It's just for me to collect data. And you might have noticed that I have a new one, LW Bull.
Order submitted.
Oh, hang on. Hang on.
Order submitted.
Hang on.
Stop failed.
All right, so the stop worked, but what the fuck was the trade actually? So interesting. Okay, so good news, bad news is that's the first time I've actually gotten the stop to work. It just sucks that the market randomly fucking dumped, like horribly dumped right at market open. But I am happy that the stop logic.
Target failed.
All right, some trade just hit. So Scout missed horribly. Mini hit. But I'm trying to figure out what happened right there at market open. Like, why did we just... Yeah, okay, that was just bad. That was pretty brutal. Like, literally heading right into market open, just a huge vomit, and then my stop was hit. Holy shit. Well, that was pretty brutal. But some systems are going to take a loss. If anything, I'm just kind of happy that it actually did what it was supposed to do, and let's see how much it can claw itself out of this particular loss. So first trade, complete miss, but I'm going to chalk it up as a win because this, once again, I'm focusing on just getting the system to work exactly how it should. And even though it was a losing trade, technically the system worked as it should. And then the second one quickly fired, and then that hit, and we shouldn't be far away from the next one also going. We shouldn't be that far away from the third system. If it works as expected, Delta should be firing next. The odds of that was less than 1%. Yeah, what just happened was a very low odds situation that we just vomited like that with no wick to the upside. But it happens, and that's exactly why I put in these stops. And that was actually the first time the stop was hit. So it's good to know that worked, because in terms of testing, that situation that we just saw on Scout there, vomiting right at market open, it's a rare one. And it just doesn't happen often. But obviously, just because it doesn't happen often, like, you still have to prepare yourself for it. So in a weird way, it actually makes me feel a little bit more comfortable that it worked as expected, just because it doesn't happen that often. But hey, nonetheless, it is seemingly fine. And
order submitted.
All right, looks like we're playing the recovery. Basically, it waited for this bar to close above a recent high. So a potential, I guess, market structure shift, if you will. This is one that I actually had to recently do some changes to, this particular strategy. So I'm hoping that it works. That'd be nice. I'm hoping that it would work. Come on. Oh. What's sad about it is it might have just been a little early. It's one of those things where I bet if it had enough of the drawdown, it can handle what it needs to handle, but maybe just the timing's a little off. That's some bad slippage. It was supposed to get in right at the bar open, 84.75, but because of slippage, it got to fill at 86. That might... Sometimes things move a little bit too quick. Sometimes it benefits you, and sometimes it really hurts you. As I've been trying to show you guys over the past couple of days, I try to keep myself grounded by, like, actually, no, my fire alarm people are talking. Hang on. Sorry, if you can hear a weird robot voice, it's just because they are trying to ensure, I don't know, some random ass shit about our fire system. But anyway, I know it's really easy right here. I'm showing you an example of slippage not working in my favor. And I think sometimes as a trader, it's really, really, really easy to just be like crazy focused on that of like, it never ever, like it's always just screwing me over, which is actually why on the show, like with you guys, I like to specifically point it out of like the times it is helping me. I think it's just a healthier way to approach the market. You know what's not a healthier way to approach the market?
Order filled.
Whatever the fuck is going on right now. So the Tradeifys just hit their soft breach on the day. They hit their soft breach on the day. Dude, what the fuck is this open? What's happening right now is statistically very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So the Tradeifys, and this is once again just like nuanced rules related to Tradeify. They're not gone or anything. They're just now frozen for the day. If you're using Tradeify at all, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But what the fuck is this? Dude, this is a pretty hard hit out of the gate. What? All right, let me reload. I want to now see what's going on here. Yeah. Hang on, let me get this. Pretty much from 30 seconds into the day, the delta on the S&P 500 has just been puking. Maybe it'll get going. It hasn't really necessarily caught its legs yet. The Mag 7 tried to hold steady for about the first 4 minutes, and then that one also started puking the delta, just taking that hit. What about the NASDAQ? NASDAQ puked maybe a little bit of a bounce now, but up until about the first 5 or 6-ish minutes, and I'm not even necessarily saying it's done yet, we've definitely been having a little bit of a hit. A little bit of a hit, team. A little bit of a hit. All right. Well, the SPY, minute one, got that downside gap fill. The Qs pretty much opened right at their closing value. Puked. So basically, minute one, seemingly quite a few profit takers. Oh, is this just because it's OPEX bullshit? That might be a really good lesson for me. Maybe I don't run the morning open stuff. Let me write that down. That might be a good catch-all. No mornings on OPEX. Should that be a rule? No mornings on OPEX. I need to back test this to see if this particular day we're having is normal for OPEX, or even if what we just saw there, that dump on the larger scale is statistically abnormal. But I wonder if it's quote unquote normal for OPEX days. We're going to have to back test that one, because if it is normal for OPEX days, it's a pretty easy solution. You just turn it off. Oh man, today's OPEX. Yeah, today's the monthly OPEX. Today is, in fact, the monthly OPEX. Fuck. Netflix is having a good day. Netflix didn't get the memo that the rest of the market is selling off. Netflix is like, hey, people love watching TV, and we are just going. Where can Netflix even go to? Here, let me do. That seems to be one of the few exciting ones, so we might as well take a look at it while the rest of the market's trying to figure out what the fuck it wants to do. Where are we at on this? 50. Okay. So Netflix is currently trading at 1,242. It looks like there is a large play here. Let me zoom in right here. And I could even split it up a little bit more. Long calls up to 1,250. And then that's also the high vol point is 1,245. 1,245. Interesting. Where is Netflix? All right. So I have this breakout alert at 46. So we can listen for that. But it looks like 50 might be interesting. Add alert. Let's set one at 49.50. 50 cents early. All right, so an alert set for pretty close to that key open interest level, and then also a technical breakout at 12:46 on Netflix. I know a lot of the people in the Discord are playing this particular play, and I'm actually playing it myself ever since this trend line breakout, kind of getting involved into it in the low 1200s. So I'll be watching this. It might be able to follow through. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. All right, we are getting into an interesting situation now. Fuck, which way is this going to break? Netflix is trying to put the market on its back. So Netflix just got that daily bar breakout right here, taking out this high from Friday, July the 18th. Fuck. The Qs are not looking good, team. They are just getting beaten the fuck up. Our buyer's going to step in right here. Is this about to puke? Minute one was a puke, and then from minute two onward, we're just kind of now range bound, all awkwardly waiting, saying, are we breaking out or not? No, the take profits did not like that at all. Is this about to puke? Where are the book map things? All right, so you have some buyers right here at 40. Some buyers just came in at 45. Here, let me move myself over so you could see this a little bit better. Where the fuck am I? All right, let me move over so you can see this. Hopefully you can see that a bit better. Some buyers are attempting, where are they at? 40, 35, 25, something like that. I mean, buyers are building up, but we're also not, even though the buyers are building up like passively. Fuck, something is not working as it should. No, something completely broke down here. Like 100%. Like, look at this. This is, things are getting turned on and all. What the fuck? How did this happen? Something got Is it broken? Or is it just because it's trying to trade in the... It might not be broken. It might be just because it's trading on the frozen Tradeify accounts, which you can't trade when they're... It might just... The alerts I'm getting might be these ones that if I just turn this off. This one, and this one. Yeah. Because these have the soft breach. Tradeify has a particular rule that some other ones have, but not all of them, of soft breach. So like there are certain times where you're locked out for the rest of the day, but the account isn't lost. You're just, it's a daily loss limit soft breach, what it's referred to. So those ones are frozen, and I think the alerts that just popped up and that I'm getting are it's trying to trade on a frozen account, which obviously you can't do, and I actually don't even know if you can code that up. I'm getting an alert on QNTM. Why did I even have that alert? QNTM. Oh, because it's obviously a pump and dump. This was another just like asshole pump and dump alert for me that, surprise, surprise, this is the one that they're trying to pump with GNS. They're both paid, like literal paid pump and dumps. So if you were chasing these to the upside, Godspeed, because in my humble opinion, it's only a matter of time before they get absolutely rocked. Like literal paid pump and dumps. What's the other paid pump and dump? Open. It's pumping right now. These ones are obvious. All you have to do, wait for the first red day, taking out the previous day's low, look for that volume crush. So less volume, first red day, taking out the previous low, and that's generally a dagger in the heart type of a situation. So should you arbitrarily short it? No, because You could have arbitrarily shorted at 170 and it ripped all the way to 5. You could still get blown out. So, like, the timing's important. But like in here, you wait for the first red day, taking out the previous low, and look for that volume exhaustion. Those are kind of the 3 things you really want as like a key indicator that it's over. So it's getting another run now. Would I arbitrarily chase it? God, no. Would I put it on my watch list and just wait for it? Yeah, but just to be completely clear, I'm not trading this one anyway. Workhorse going flat, not doing anything. How's the ETH one doing? The Tom Lee, even this one, it's showing those pump and dump aspects. This one's a little bit more interesting because, like, obviously it's going to be an important question of, I suppose, an important question of, will the market truly accept this as an Ethereum strategy? Like an Ethereum, just like literally treasury strategy for the company, the way we've already seen it with Bitcoin. So maybe worthwhile to pay attention to that. Netflix getting rejected right at that daily high of 12.46, but maybe basing here. Meta slightly green, Apple slightly green, Microsoft slightly green. Palantir's getting rocked. Palantir's down 3%. I feel like that's kind of rare for Palantir. Whatever's going on with the market, not so bueno. Not so bueno for the market team. This is just getting dog walked down. Getting dog walked down right now. The Nasdaq is at the low. What is happening? Dude, Nasdaq options are just puking. Mag 7 puking. SPY puking. This is a brutal opening. A brutal opening. So the SPY's back in the red. It got its downside gap fill. Back in the red. Holy fuck. What the fuck, team? Bro, I've been saying not so bueno ever since I started watching Match Stream. Well, today is a very good day to start saying not so bueno because it is, in fact, not so bueno. Michigan data at 10 a.m. Yeah, we're going to get some consumer sentiment and whatnot numbers at 10. So I think I might just kind of wait for a second here to see how this settles out. I'm trying to stop myself from making a overt emotional reaction. I'm holding on to the little green I see in Netflix and Meta. But other than that, the SPY smashed it open sideways, lost that, smashed again. Jesus. Trump said they were thought about investing. Oh, INTC. That situation's weird to me. I'm kind of waiting for more details to come out. All right, with respect to where we are in the larger picture, here, let me show you the 1 minute. We opened up, and then we puked, and then we got the downside gap fill. Actually, it took up until 9:40. It took 11 minutes to actually hit. So it's not holding this support zone of 70, which is a key open interest level, or 68, yesterday's close. This was the 1 minute on SPX. The next support is all the way down here at 50. So if you were somehow lucky to take this break, maybe you were in here, maybe you want to set your stop to break even and be targeting this level. Obviously, I wish I took that trade, but alas, I did not. But anyway, yeah, we opened up, got the downside gap fill, did not hold this consolidation zone, and puked from the technical support. Man, there was a lot of support in here between 68 and 74, the high open interest level and the low, and we just puked easily through it. I mean, fingers crossed that this is an overreaction. Like I said, based on the data that I have access to, my bias is bullish, and I believe this is the bull's day to lose. So I'm still trying to hold out hope a little bit here, but the SPY's in the red, the Qs are in the red, the Russell's in the red, Bitcoin's at the low 118s. Netflix just gave up $13 like it was nothing. A lot of red. So I'm hoping that maybe this is just a painful open, and maybe, just maybe, in 12 minutes when we get those 10 a.m. numbers, hopefully they're good, and then that could be what the market needs to kind of refuel. But, oh, did we technically hit an all-time high today? Oh, we did. Yeah, that's what's up. We actually hit an all-time high right in that first minute. And I guess everyone used that as an opportunity to fucking take their money. Jesus. What is this dog shit right now? What in the fuck is this dog shit? I wonder if things are so funky. I wonder if it's so funky that I just hit a pause on all the systems today. Like, I wonder if that's the smart thing to do. Like, you know what? Just save face, take the hit, and then once again, I have to take a little bit of time to like back test this, but I'm almost wondering if the smart move is for me to like just go back and historically see how the strategies have specifically performed on just OPEX days. And maybe this is recency bias of my own, of like saying, oh, wow, today's an OPEX day and this is like a little weird. We opened, we had no wick to the upside and we just puked. My knee jerk, but that's obviously just because I'm seeing it in real time right now, is that OPEX days are not good. But also that might be recency bias, and maybe I'm just talking because we're dealing with it in real time, and maybe this is an outlier. So I think I'm going to need to. I think that's a smart move. Of course, I want to trade myself out of this hole and like just try to go green on the day. But I'm trying to fight that emotion myself and just say, okay, maybe this is the time to collect a bit more data, you know, just a little bit more data on the situation. I mean, this is puke at 950. What I'm holding out for right now, if you're just joining in right now, the market's taking a hit since market open. What I'm holding out for is the 10 a.m. announcements. It's not there. Did I put it in the newsletter? The newsletter right here, 10 a.m. Yeah. Consumer sentiment and the Michigan numbers coming out at 10. So hopefully those numbers are good. And all of a sudden when it comes out, we see the delta pop on everything. That would make life far, far, far easier. Far easier. Dude, Meta just got hit literally as I turned. Dude, what the fuck is this, man? It's unrelenting. Delta's just dropping. Holy shit. Holy shit. Big guys aren't doing anything over there, but I mean, if I zoom out on this, look at that. Just ever since, where's 930? Look at this. Just smashing the bid. Nothing. Started smashing the bid again. Like all these red circles are just aggressive sellers hitting the bid. Just a huge wave of selling. Try to collect itself. And then another thing is selling, and then followed by another big wave of selling. Dude, that's fuck, man. Fuck. Well, at this point, there's nothing really to do until wait till 10 a.m. This might just be a shot day. I did toggle off the strategy, so nothing is going to be firing. Maybe the Michigan numbers are good at 10, and I decide to turn them back on. Obviously, that is, in fact, a possibility, but let's wait and see, you know? Let's just freaking wait and see. I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, we have a couple minutes to go. We have about 3 minutes. Here's a look at the Mag 7. It's just puking. The NASDAQ just puking. The S&P 500 maybe starting to attempt to bounce. How are the daily charts on these things looking? Let's look at some daily charts. So SPX still, I mean, it literally hit a new all-time high today, so you can't really say anything's like too bearish when you literally hit a record level. SPY, I don't know if it technically did, but it was very, very close. The Qs are clearly weaker, like clearly weaker. I don't know why I just moved that, but we now have lower highs and lower lows. So a potential little short-term reversal from the higher highs and higher lows, but made a high on Wednesday. And since then, lower highs, lower lows. The Russell, huge pump. And now we're just kind of chilling. If it could take out the high, that actually might be a higher low. Like if it reverses today. Bitcoin right at the trend line. I'm fucking hating that. I don't know why I didn't get out. I feel really stupid about that. Netflix, oh my God, it's breakout today, but intraday getting smacked. Meta holding decently, Apple sideways, Microsoft sideways, Palantir puking. There is a downside gap filled to 161. Broadcom, like the Nasdaq, lower highs, lower lows, breaking to the downside of this inside bar from yesterday. Similar situation on Nvidia, sideways, but now breaking down. The Qs, I think, just made a fresh low, intraday low. Tesla, looks like we have a fake out breakout. It's coming back into the consolidation zone. Fuck, dude. This is turning into a very brutal OPEX reversal as of now. I'm not, like I said, the only thing I've really done today is toggle off the rest of my strategies just because today seems a little bit weird, and I'm realizing that maybe I should collect a little bit more data related to OPEX days. So kind of waiting on that particular note. That's why I toggled that off. But in terms of my swing positions, for those of you in the Discord, haven't touched it yet because, once again, I'm waiting for this 10 a.m. stuff. If the 10 a.m. numbers are bad, yeah, I'm getting out, and then I'm going to go into the weekend flat where I can just like calm down and reevaluate coming into the next week. But until I see that, we're just going to be waiting. Huh. Interesting team. Very, very interesting. Maybe a little bit of we're about 4 minutes out. Do you think they're going to bring our boy Rick Santilli on? You think they're going to bring our boy Rick on? Oh, brother. Who will Trump pick for Fed chair? Here from all the candidates in their own words. All right. DC sues Trump over federal takeover of police force. Uh-huh. Dude, fucking OPEX days, man. OPEX days. All right, what are these guys chit-chatting about? Halftime report at noon Eastern.
On closing bell, that's going to be right in the center of all of that unfolding, so we'll cover that as well.
Scott, thanks.
Yep.
Meantime, losing a little bit of steam here as the S&P settles about 9 points into the red. Dow's off session highs, but still up 155 on that UNH effect.
Meta
Mike's going to stick
is
around.
maybe trying to fight back. I'm just holding on to these two green things. Netflix and Meta, they're giving me like that little silver lining of hopium. Maybe it's inappropriate, but hey, at this point, I'm just taking what I can get because I'm seeing quite a bit of fucking red, man. Jesus. All right, well, they already ditched that one. All right, we have consumer sentiment and Michigan numbers coming out in 3 minutes. While we're waiting for that to come out, don't forget, we are doing the Marbles Race, the Payday Friday giveaway. We're giving away $150 of cold hard cash, and we're also giving away 3 different Vanquish accounts. If you use that code Goonie on Vanquish, you get 35% off and a free reset. This is the best place to do sim-to-funded trading for options trading. I know recently we've been doing a lot of futures, but obviously I also understand that we have big options traders in here. So if you want to take advantage of this type of setup, a sim-to-funded setup, but doing it with options, Vanquish is your best opportunity. Pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video, and we are going to be giving away some of those accounts today. Side note, if you happen to be a winner, make sure you register your account on Vanquish because they can't give you a free credit otherwise. You have to have a Vanquish account, not one that you purchase. Like, you just have to have like a username and a login on the Vanquish platform for them to be able to give you that credit. So just a little bit of housekeeping there. But anyway, yeah, 35% off, free reset. Use that code Goonie. We're giving away 3 of those today. $150 of cold hard cash as well. Whoever's picked off of locals for the Payday Friday giveaway, like here, let me reload this just so you guys can see what it looks like. Right here. Just everyone's just dropping away to reach out to them just in case they are the winner. So it is pinned to the top of chat. Don't forget to, I guess, get in here. So 57 people have already done it. So right now your odds are pretty good because we're going to pick 3 people from here, which are going to be getting the Vanquish account. And then from there, those 3 plus a YouTube competitor plus a Rumble competitor, everyone will be basically have the opportunity to win the $150 if they win the race. Meta's catching a bit of a bid. Netflix is losing it a bit. It looks like Broadcom's getting really beat up. It looks like Nvidia's getting beat up. It looks like Coin's getting beat up. Fuck. What isn't getting beat up right now? It looks like the best performing thing intraday at this point is Meta. It's the only final green thing on my watch list. Holy shit, team. Holy shit. Well, Here's to hoping the numbers that come out in 1 minute are good. Wow. Let's see if we're about to pull off a very impressive reversal. Let's see if we can pull it off. Jesus Louises. We're going to find out. What's everyone's best vote? What do you think the reaction's going to be? Like within the first minute, the first 2 minutes? You have about 30 seconds to answer. Do you think we have a bullish reaction or a bearish reaction? Consumer sentiment and Michigan numbers coming out at 10 a.m.
Friday morning, welcome to Squawk on the Street. I'm Carl Quintanilla with Leslie Pickard, Mike Santoli here at Post 9 of the New York Stock Exchange. David and Sarah have the morning off. Busy Friday morning between some macro data, a bunch of corporate stories. Watch markets, though. Got an all-time high on the S&P and actually the Dow, thanks to UNH, which we're going to talk about.
Coming out right at 10.
Treasuries, meantime, relatively well-behaved.
All right.
Just south of
We have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
The Oracle of Omaha's move into UNH, sending shares soaring today. We'll get more on how Berkshire and its portfolio is shaping up. And a government backstop for Intel. This new report says the U.S. government is looking at taking a stake.
Fuck, brother.
We have someone who says it would help the company's cash problem, but it's not a tech problem. He'll explain. And then running for the exits, more on why shares of CoreWeave got crushed yesterday, although getting a slight
fake out
this morning, up a little more than 1%.
But first, breaking economic data just crossing. Rick Santelli has that for us.
All right, give it to us, Rick.
Yes, let's start out with University of Michigan sentiment. Now, these are August preliminary numbers, so they'll change in a couple weeks. I'll tell you right off the bat, they're sequentially lower. We're expecting a headline number around 62. Our last final month read was 61.7, 58.6. 58.6. That's the weakest since May, when it was 52.2, and April, when it was 52.2. Now, if we look at current conditions, 60.9. Our last look was 68.
Recovery?
60.9, also the weakest since
This is the initial
May.
reaction.
Remember,
Are we going to fully
had
recover?
Some very low reads. These are surveys. They get affected by a lot of
57 to
things.
51.
Now, if we look at expectations, what lies ahead, this is the closest to the rearview mirror. 57.2, 57.7 was our last month July final read, and we were expecting a number around 58 and change. 57.2, that would be the weakest also since May, when it was well below
full
that
recovery?
At 47.9. Maybe the most important aspect of these is the inflation numbers. They're coming back to a reality on the 1 year, 4.9%.
We just made a full recovery.
4.9 would be, well, the lowest since
Bot
4.3
overreaction
in February, and we had a read in May of 6.6%. Finally, 5 to 10-year inflation, 3.9. Both these inflation numbers are higher than expectations. Both of these inflation numbers are higher than rearview mirror. 3.9% follows 3.4%. 3.9, well, 3.5 was in February, which was 3.5. The high water mark there was April at 4.4. Now, we also have business inventories. This is a June number, always 2 months in arrears, expecting up 0.2. It delivered exactly up 0.2. If we look at interest rates, Carl said it. You know, basically, it is a very, very, very well-behaved market if you don't look at the volatility of Tuesday and Thursday. Just look at from last Friday. Right now at 429, well, we closed at 428 last week in 10. So they're up 1 basis point, basically, and 372 right now. 371 change, 372.
What the fuck is
That's
today?
down 5 on the week, virtually unchanged on a 2-year. So, yes, we've seen very well-behaved, and Fed Fund futures also very well-behaved. Carl, back to you, and have a good weekend.
You too, Rick. Thanks for some
looking
stellar
all right.
work all week long. Rick Santelli helping us understand the data today. Mike, market reaction? What
Not
does
a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it did wobble a little bit. You know, 2-year yield is kind of subdued on it. Market doesn't really grab the inflation expectation number from the survey very much and run with it anymore. Though you have seen, you know, longer-term yields leak higher relative to short-term ones. So maybe it does also reflect. I mean, look, we got the really poor payroll revisions, and within the Conference Board surveys, the jobs hard to get measures and the outlook measures have been also under pressure. So maybe that is somewhat in sync with a little bit of a soft spot in consumer sentiment from Michigan. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say it's reflecting behavior too directly, as we just saw with the retail sales, but you know, it's sort of like the relief from not getting max tariffs that lasted May into June maybe has worn off to a degree.
Yeah, that was going to be my question, what you make of kind of the superlatives here being the weakest since that April-May timeframe, when we did see so much volatility and so much consternation. Now you've got, you know, markets sitting at much higher levels. At least the
markets are at much higher levels for sure, and you know, in general, the consumer is mostly hung in. I think the question is whether it's just this kind of policy noise is still elevated relative to, you know, what people would remember from not too long ago, and that's wearing on consumer sentiment. We know, of course, also the political component of these things too.
We've spent the last couple of weeks talking about the reliability, veracity of data. Sometimes it's response rate, sometimes it's political bias, some would argue, but you can slice it up.
UMich actually changed his methodology some time ago, and that seemed to have accounted for a lot of the skew that we've gotten recently. So.
Right. Are we still seeing a pretty big gap between soft and hard data?
Good question. I guess probably not as wide as it was a little while back. You know, economic surprise has more or less been okay, I think. It's not really suffered that much, and most of the survey work has been more just kind of chopping around the same range. ISM, that's soft data, kind of, and that hasn't really improved all that much, but it's not in the dumps.
Yeah, we didn't really mention the Reuters piece today looking at whether banks are going to change their research modeling because of pressure from the White House. Jack Alblin makes a great point in the piece, saying that it's really small investors who will suffer because they won't have access to maybe some of the most robust research operations.
Yeah, and research is regulated by FINRA, so this is not something that necessarily gets isolated or operates in a vacuum. It does have oversight by FINRA, which is this kind of self-governing body for the financial services industry.
To me, it's you know, the absolute coin of the realm if you are providing economic or macro or company-based research is, do investors find that it reflects ultimate reality in the markets? Or the market, and so to me, you're not going to sort of pull punches or massage your research if the market's going to immediately make you look foolish, right? So I think it's a matter of what the market takes out of whatever data flow we get from here on out.
Yeah, and I think it's also a matter of what's the worst that could happen. I mean, you have a Truth Social post by the president criticizing your work and saying you should be fired.
Funky.
Okay, those are words. Do you actually get fired? I mean, like, are there broader repercussions beyond the words, or is it just kind of a one-day post and then everybody moves on? I think, you know, is it an intel situation, or is it a, you know, kind of words that are critical and then everybody kind of moves on to the next thing. Sticking with the economy, Chicago Fed President Austin Goolsbee on Squawk Box earlier this morning giving his first take to this week's inflation reports.
I still think underneath all of this, we were in a strong position on the economy going into April, and there are still a lot of strengths in the economy. So if we can assure ourselves or get a hint that for this meeting or the meetings this fall, that we aren't on an inflationary spiral that looks to be persistent.
Tesla's getting smoked.
I still think it makes sense.
NVIDIA was and then bounced back a bit. Palantir smoked. Microsoft actually kind of good. Apple getting smoked. Netflix was good, then getting smoked, now trying to bounce back. MSTR smoked. Meta's trying to bounce. Avago was getting smoked, trying to bounce. AMD smoked, bounced. Robinhood smoked. All right, we don't need this anymore. Folks, this is a messy setup today. A messy setup. The NASDAQ grossly overreacted to the downside. Grossly overreacted, attempting to bounce back. Now, literally being led upward by Netflix, Meta, and now also Microsoft. Microsoft right here trying to get a little bit of a pop as well. I would say on an intraday basis, Meta looks the strongest, followed by Netflix and Microsoft. Meta's actually looking pretty good. Might be making a beeline up to 800. That is an important level there. As you guys saw, I did make a position on Vanquish. I'm hoping that this is ideally the last trade I really need to do to make some dinero here. I got long calls at 650. It's trading at 530, 540. How is this looking? Am I about to get murked here? I liked, okay, so this seemed to be a fake out to me at 10. Then we popped, took out the recent highs. I waited for a bit of a pullback, and I went long at 10.04 because I was like, okay, cool. Fake out, pump, higher low. I have something to base it off of. Unfortunately, just going sideways. Looking at the Qs, it does make me a bit optimistic. Meta's still going. All right, where are these meta levels that we should care about today? Meta is trading at 791. All right, looks like I got kicked out of Spot Gamma, Equity Hub, Meta. All right, what levels? We're trading at 790, so keep that in mind. Huge negative gamma at 800. We got above 785, so this was 775 to 785 was a big fight. A lot of positive gamma. It was actually the low vol point as well from the gamma structure. So above holding 785 is a big win. The fact that we captured 785 is a big win. Makes me feel like the ball is just falling down the mountain to somewhere between 800 and 805. So I'm watching this right here. That's the high vol point. And then it becomes more difficult to push it back up the hill. So where in the world is Meta? Meta. All right, Meta. I'm setting an alert at, let's set up a couple alerts here. An alert, add alert at 795. Let's set an alert up at 9750. Okay, and then let's set up an alert at 99 as well, because I might need to manage that. I have some meta calls, so I might need to manage those positions today as we get closer and closer to this high vol point. So 800, 805, like this is going to be an important area. Definitely an important area. The Qs trying to grind up, obviously lower highs, lower lows, and then that seemingly switched on this breakout at 10:01. The market's overreaction at 10. So from there, basically it flipped at 10. We had lower highs and lower lows up until 10, and then since 10:01, we've now had higher highs and higher lows in the NASDAQ. Technically, that's true in the SPY, but it's just less pronounced. Technically, these are higher highs and higher lows. In terms of equities, it seems like Meta, Netflix, and Microsoft are leading the charge higher. Actually, Microsoft is starting to look pretty good right now as well. The rest of these are unfortunately still in the red, but who knows, maybe by the end of the day, there's going to be ideally a full recovery, but what a fucking session we're having. What a session we are having. Man, the SPY's now not doing anything. Where are we at on this daily? Okay, we're trying to get back above the 1 minute 50 EMA right here at 62. 68 is the closing value. So if you're playing this recovery, that's probably this zone in here where we had all this consolidation up till 944. This might be a good first target scale out zone somewhere between 68 and 74. That's definitely what I'm watching as I'm Delta. The Delta keeps pushing in the SPY here. The Mag 7 is also decently recovering. I mean, it's just how far can they keep grinding it out? I don't want to see this breakdown though. It might be losing a little bit of it here. Mag 7. We don't want to see people dropping that Delta. Delta try to pop. It's giving a bit back. Let's just keep hoping that this Delta goes higher, because if they sell calls or buy puts, or God forbid they do both, this thing is just barely hanging on right now. This is barely hanging on. Well, while we're waiting to see which way this either does or doesn't play out, don't forget to sign up. You can sign up for free for today's Payday Friday giveaway. Pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video is the link to Vanquish. They are sponsoring the Payday Friday giveaway. But if you want to get in here, I'll actually pin this link just so you guys can get to it quickly. Oh, wait. I did not. Wow, that's on me. Okay, sorry. I didn't put this in here at all. Okay, my bad. My bad. All right, it is now in the description of the video. That's 100% on me. And I'm putting it in chat, and then I'm also pinning it to the top of chat. So the direct giveaway link is, I'm sorry about that. I'm putting it in chat right now. So whether you're in Rumble chat, YouTube chat, I just posted it. Shout out to Chaos. He just posted it. It's pinned to the top of chat. I'm super sorry about that. So if you need the direct link to get here, to get involved in this giveaway, it is now there. My bad. That's a bit awkward. That's a bit awkward. All right. So as much as tech was looking shitty, tech is now actually trying to lead the recovery, while SPY recovered a little bit, but it's just not catching a bid, really. It's really, really not catching a bid. Fuck, dude. What in tarnation? Well, what in tarnation? Date wrong as well on that. Oh, August. Here, let me update it. That's easy. That was a copy and paste issue. Here. Boom. Fixed it. I appreciate that. But it's now fixed, and it's pinned to the top of chat. It's in the top of the locals community. All right. Microsoft's going. Meta's going. Dude, Meta, how's Netflix going? Oh, Netflix is also looking good. I don't have a Microsoft play, but I do have Netflix and Meta. I'm actually kind of afraid to look at my account right now because I'm also holding some of these other plays that are just fucking looking horrible. Horrible. But when in doubt, just look at the positive things, such as the fact that I am up $2.19 on Meta. Am I rich? You tell me. Do you know any other trader who can make $2 a day trading a $14.5 thousand position? Read it and weep, losers. Fucking $2, all mine. Try to stop me. Try to stop me. Seriously, name another trader in this world who can make $2 like that. Name one more. You can't, because, like, dude, I make $2. I mean, easier than anyone else in this world. Easier than anyone else in this world. I'm just the best at this game. I don't know what you guys want me to say. Like, this is why I'm the best streamer, the best trader. This is why Wall Street calls me day in and day out. Just name another person who makes $2 so easily. Name one more guy or gal. I'm break even on the Vanquish play, or I was break even for a second, and now it's back to being in the red. Basically, I'm just trying to play this up to this zone right here. Had this little 2-bar stuff happened earlier, I probably would have already made my money, but starting to get a little bit crushed by theta. So I want to see this push to, really, I just want to see it push directly back up to 68, and then I should be good to go. I should be able to lock in at that point. Netflix looking good. Meta looking good. We're coming up to my first alert on Meta at 95. Netflix, at this point, we might as well mark out the intraday high. We'll set an alert there. I have another alert at 49, just because the way Meta's coming up to an interesting point, so is Netflix. So is Netflix right here, 45 to 50 right there. So kind of not exactly the same, but a similar, like, hey, we're getting to these key levels, like, you gotta pay attention. And I'm saying that because 2 times ago when I traded Netflix, I didn't. It got all the way up to this area, and I was like, nope, gonna keep going. And then it went all the way back down, and I felt really, really fucking stupid about it. So I'm trying to learn from my past mistakes, which is a new concept for me, but we're gonna see if I can. We're going to see if I can. Avago, fucking 320. Support at 310. I don't even think it's near it. Oh, it's at 310 right now. All right, so if it can recapture, well, Meta's going. All right, first alert taken out on Meta, and it's climbing. She's a climbing. Oh, fuck. The SPY. It's like, honestly, just barely hanging on, folks. This thing is barely hanging on. Fuck. What a, like, just lame-ass recovery. It didn't even go back up to its closing. Yeah, it's starting to get a little cracked here. Oh, I mean, it's tough to chase any of this stuff either way because, like, we're just whipping all over the place. All the exciting thing I see going on right now is Meta. maybe you could argue Microsoft as well, but beyond that, just it ain't happening today, folks. It ain't happen. Meta's looking cool though. And Microsoft and Netflix, and then beyond that, just fuck all is happening. Here's a look at the flow. Mag 7 puked, recovered, and now potentially puking again, but a lower high as of now. So maybe there's going to be a higher low and we could bounce off of it and take out the delta high. Totally possible. Let's wait and see. SPY did make a new delta high, and now it's just vomiting. Puts are being bought, calls are being sold. So the delta building up and up and up, and then all of a sudden 10-15, 10-17, it just fucking puked. Just absolutely puked. Matt can't stop saying Meta today because it's the best looking one, hands down, bar none. It is looking the best. It is definitely looking the best. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. NVIDIA calls for an earnings run-up. I don't know about that. That seems like kind of sketchy. Also, it's earnings, just so you know, earnings aren't next week. It's the week after. It's a week and a half out. Oh, the SPY's getting walked down as this delta's just puking. Fuck, that's the last thing the bull camp wanted to see. It's just, it's getting worse as we keep watching it. It's just getting worse. Stop it. Mag 7 is holding, though. Will tech save us? The thing that destroyed us this morning, will it save us today? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe, maybe not. Do I want to add to this position? Yes, no, maybe so. Is this being stupid? Is this being stupid? Well, that doesn't... What am I doing here? Why can I not see this properly? August 15th, 6:47 calls, 6:47. That's not right. Options chain. Why the fuck does it look like this? Nope. Planned option chain market. There we go. It's the wrong expiration. It was on the AM because it's okay. That's exactly the issue. Never mind. Figured it out. How do you collapse that though if you need to? Did I make something too big, too small? Market here. Okay, it's up top. So yeah, if you're doing this today, this is the AM settlement one, and it's defaulting to that just because it is technically today. So you have to go to the second one. Oh, 6,470. Market. All right, we are not doing that yet, though. I just wanted to see. I wanted to see what in the world was going on. So that if you're running into a similar issue that I just kind of showed you there, it's exclusively because today is a monthly expiration and technically those expire in the morning. So that's why it has that AM thing. So those were done at 9:30. And then there's a different contract that's going to basically be live until today at 4 p.m. on SPX. So quick way to avoid the issue I just ran into. All right, Mag 7 is flat. SPY just puked. 5-minute, 10-minute, 30-minute momentum is bearish. 4-hour is still bullish. 5-minute, 10-minute, 30-minute is all bearish. 4-hour is still bullish. Dude, I mean, it might be like yesterday where we somehow do have a recovery, but if we do, Jesus, it has its work cut out for it today. It definitely has its work cut out for it today. Maybe a higher low being put in here on the Qs. So clearly up until 10, we had lower highs and lower lows. Now we have higher highs and higher lows. The question is, are we going to keep with this pattern and make this low, ideally that we're putting in right now, a higher low, and then take out this recent high? That would be ideal. The SPY, I mean, it did crack these lows. It's the SPY on a relative basis is looking weaker. Netflix is still looking decently strong. Meta's giving a little bit back after hitting almost 96, 796. Lethargic team. Mag 7 is flat. SPY looks like a fucking heart attack EKG. NASDAQ is kind of flat right now. This is messy, team. This is all sorts of messy. All sorts of fucked up OPEX days. They can be so sweet. They can be so horrible. You never really know what you're going to get with monthly OPEX. You never really know what you're going to get with the quarterly OPEX too. These ones, like, these are the days where you feel like a god and you crush it and there's a huge trend and you just captured the whole thing. Or it's days like this where it's just like fake outs and whips and data drops and this, that, the other thing. And it's like, can be really, really difficult to like catch your footing. And it looks, unfortunately, like this particular OPEX is, we're in the latter camp, apparently. How's your stress monitor looking? That's a great question. Let's see what it is. Health. Where the fuck is it? Where's my stress? I'm sitting at a stress of 1, which is considered low. I'm sitting at a stress of 1. It did spike, though. How do I see when it spiked? It spiked around 10. My stress levels did spike around 10. I wonder why. Oh, fuck. What a shit day. What a dog shit day. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. All right. Fuck it. Six 10. All right, fixing that order. Limit price 630. Well, looks like the Qs are attempting to get a little trend line 1 minute breakout, and I'm watching for a similar setup on the SPY here, watching this down sloping trend line. So the Qs are now on a relative basis a bit stronger, probably because of Meta, because of Netflix, because of Microsoft. Apple trying to, Palantir getting a decent bounce ever since 952. Broadcom tried to get a bounce, but going flat, getting caught up at 308. There is quite a bit of open interest at 310. Nvidia, same thing. It seems like things are like they puked in this morning, and like it's a bit of a recovery. We probably recovered about 50% of the sell-off, roughly, if you were to get like one of those fib retracement things. But now we're like in the awkward no man's land of like, which fucking way is it going to break? Tesla's not looking good intraday. Coin did try to recover, getting smacked. Same with Bitcoin, MSTR. Like, it's just, Hood is looking decent. DJT maybe catching a bid. I mean, it's pretty evident that the best looking ones are Meta, Microsoft, and Netflix right now. Probably Meta looking the best, just because I think there's, if nothing else is looking good, I think this is hitting a lot of people's scanners because they're probably focusing on this $800 major open interest level strike. right all the way up here. So could be exciting. I should probably manage that. I'm a little bit on tilt here. I added to my position. I doubled down. So I went from 10 to 20 of these calls. It seems to have worked. I'm roughly back to break even. I'm in at now 560. It's trading at 520. So I'm not off by that much. And ideally, even with a little bit of a push here, like basically I doubled down on this idea of like, okay, if we can actually get this trend switch and we're breaking this trend line, that even a little bit of a pump, I don't even need a pump all the way back up here. Now even a pump to just maybe even taking out this 10-15 high, if it were to happen quickly, somewhat of time is going to matter because it is a 0 DTE. But even if this little test here does lead to this breakout, I should be able to lock in and just call it a day. And I guess be humble enough to admit that today is just a dog shit trading day. But so I'm watching this closely. I did that after I had the confirmation that the Qs did break out, but it looks like now 4 minutes later, it's actually getting smacked. So that's unfortunate. What the fuck, dude? This is just not catching a break today. A flow alert there on that 1025. Not shaping up to be the... Ooh, Netflix just got a little bit smacked. Just dropped $3 like it was nothing. Takes forever to build up $3, and then in just like one big order, loses all of that. Well. Oh, the Qs are going the wrong way. Meta intraday high at 796. Maybe a double top. Looks like we have some profit taking going on, but this is all happening simultaneously as people are like, is the SPY going to recover? Are the Qs going to recover? Is Meta going to keep going? Is Netflix going to keep going? Microsoft actually clearly taken a little bit of a hit since 10:15. We're just at an important like pivot area. Everyone's just kind of awkwardly waiting. I'm like, okay, who's actually winning today? Even this Mag 7 dropped, popped flat. Looking at the SPY, just fucking all. We went from a new delta high at 10:15 to a new delta low 10 minutes later at 10:25. If that doesn't show you how fucking indecisive and shitty of a trading day like today is, I don't know what will. We went from literally in 10 minutes, we went from the strongest delta reading to the weakest delta reading. These are the days, like, I think it's a very important skill, especially for active traders, to recognize like certain days that are just statistically gonna be shit trading days. And all of the data we've collected thus far is suggesting that this is a shit trading day, which is exactly why I turned off all my futures bots already. And we started to get that indication literally at market open. And then we're like, okay, like maybe at 10 with that announcement, like we could develop some sort of like playable trend. But since then, no, we popped a little bit and the pop just has no legs. And now but it also like didn't collapse. So we're awkwardly waiting. Remember, not all trading days are built the same. They really, truly are not. And we might just be in one of those situations where clearly it's just seemingly a shit day. And just because it's shit right now doesn't mean things can't improve and we get a nice trend, whether it's bullish or bearish. But also, there's no rule that has to happen. We could obviously just say like stuck in this bullshit all day too. So this is not the time to be making those like hero plays where you're playing with too big of your account or anything like that. This is a day where you're like, you know what? Unless things improve somewhat quickly, I might call it an early weekend. Like that's the kind of day we're in. And sometimes you just have to accept it. So while we're waiting to see that, granted, we're only an hour into the day, there is still quite a bit of time left. Why don't we get rocking with the Payday Friday giveaway? So pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video is the link to this to maybe represent locals. And remember, if you win on locals, bonus gift of actually getting a Vanquish account. There's still time to do this. It's pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video. I recommend everyone do it because you can join up for free, at least for the first month. And while I'm waiting for you guys to do that, we're going to pick the competitors from YouTube and from Rumble. So let's get going. Dashboard, giveaways. This, we're going to start off with YouTube. Random number, anyone can win. It's a number from 1 to 100. Let her rip. Let her rip, brother. Let her rip. Let her rip. No one's got it. Oh, who got it? Crayon Parfait. Congrats. parfait. I don't know why you're eating cram parfaits, but they sound tasty. Don't leave chat, because if you're the winner, we got to get a way to reach out to you. Please do not leave chat. Stay in YouTube chat until after the marble race. Please do not leave. Please do not leave. If you do leave and you're the winner, we're going to have to double up the bet next week. All right, so we have that random number generator. We're going to do between 10 and 25. All right, 16, 16, 16, 16. All right, 16. Oh, you guys cannot see this. All right, we haven't, or excuse me, 16, 19. My apologies. 19. That's the number. We are going for 19 comments past K Crane. Unless I'm somehow developed dyslexia. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Whether 16 or 19 doesn't matter. It's Mike Kimmel either way. Mike Kimmel. Congrats, man. Once again. Well, I kind of have your information, but please just don't leave chat just in case we need a way to reach out to you. But I think I could connect to you anyway. All right, so we have that. And then let's see what we have over here on locales. How many people? 78. All right, between 1 and 78. All right, 59, 20, and 24. All right, let's go back to the page. This is the first page sorted by oldest. There are 25 per page. So 25, 24, Real Ridge Runner. 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. Centenarian. Congrats. All right, and the last one was 59. So 25. The bottom of page 2 is going to be the 50th person. And then 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. Dina winning. Dina won. Dina Dibba. Ended up winning 2 times ago, so she might be able to run it back here. All right, we have our competitors. First of all, shout out to Centenarian, shout out to Real Ridge Runner, and shout out to Dina. You guys already all got a locals account. Make sure you are signed up on not a locals account. You won on locals. Sorry, I misspoke. You all won a Vanquish account, so make sure you are registered on Vanquish so they can email you your free credit to get rocking with that. So make sure you're registered there. And in the meantime, let's get this rocking. Let's get this rocking. Obviously, shout out to Vanquish. They are the partner of the giveaway. If you want to do sim-to-funded trading with option trading, check out Vanquish. Use that code GOONY to get 35% off and 1 free reset. And then I'll put up the chart while this is happening. Steam. I need to get this game going. Games. All right. Let's see what we can do. Fake out, breakout on the SPY. Fake out, breakout on the Qs. We are just awkwardly hanging out. We have not done shit today. This is actually fucking painful. Microsoft giving it back relatively quickly. Netflix giving some of it back as well. All right. Well, while nothing is happening in the market, let's race, boys. Let's race, gentlemen and ladies. All right, we have this. All right. Can you guys see this? Do I have it up properly? Yes, no, maybe so. Okay, I do. Okay, no. Cancel. They tricked me. Continue. Race. Random. All right, we are doing alienated. That sounds fun. Alienated. Ooh, spicy. All right. Cran. All right. Mike Kimmel. Centenarian. Real Ridge Runner. And then also Dina once again. Dina Dibba. All right. We have those 5 people. Sweet. All right. We got to get some tunes Remember, all the music is made in-house. We give it away for free. It is created by the producer of the show. It is created by Chaos himself. So we're going to listen to it, but obviously it's in the description of the video. The channel is called Tendies and Tunes. We give it away for free. So if you like the tunes, you can access them. You can. All right, bots 5. All right, let's see how this is. And you guys can see everything. Yes. All right. As we're getting ready here, who are you guys betting on? We are on a new racetrack, never seen before in this community. Looks like Clubfoot Billy somehow ran this in under 2 minutes, but we are running it unalienated. This is our first time on the map. I don't know what it has in store, but yes, I do have insurance just in case anyone gets abducted and or probed. But who are you guys betting on? Who are you betting on? Are you betting on Centenarian? Are you betting on Real Ridge Runner? Are you betting on Dina Dibba Dibba or Mike Kimmel or Cran Parfait? Who are you betting on? If you had to remortgage your house and put it on one of these racers in the form of a 0 DT, who would you be voting on? This is prison rules. This is a winner take all type of a situation. So make sure your vote legitimately counts here, folks. You got to think about it. Who do you think's trained? Who do you think's been putting in all the effort when the camera isn't on them, you know? All right. Well, hopefully you bet it properly because we're going to get rocking pretty soon. In fact, we're going in 3, 2, 1. All right. Who's getting the first drop? Centenarian, early lead. Mike Kimmel taking the left path. Everyone else taking the right path. Let's see if they crisscross. Real Ridge Runner running quickly on this race, but Centenarian is the first one to get out, followed by Mike Kimmel. Centenarian catches the speed up. Will Mike? Mike also does. We have Real Ridge Runner and Mike Kimmel taking the right path, while Centenarian leading Cran Parfait and Dina on the left path. Let's see who can make it into the center the fastest, the first. Who is it? Mike Kimmel. Early lead. Oh, catches the second speed up out of nowhere. Real Ridge Runner getting a little stuck back there while Centenarian and oh, Dina's dead. Dina Dibba Deado. We'll just call her dead from here on out. I don't know what happened. Uh-oh. Can the aliens kill you? Well, they didn't get killed there. Somehow, Dina died. Mike Kimmel trying to get through, I suppose, this cornfield? This corn maze of sorts? Followed by Real Ridge Runner. Uh-oh. Aliens are all over. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Cran Parfait. And Centenarian. Centenarian! No! No, Centenarian! Don't do it! Dead. The aliens got Centenarian. This is a murder. It's a murdering alien. Jesus. Uh-oh. Centenarian. That must have what happened to Dina Dibadana. Centenarian, RIP. That was brutal. You just know he's getting probed right now on that. That's bad. All right. Cran Parfait leading the race, followed by Mike Kimmel and Real Ridge Runner. All right. Let's see if there's going to be any murders here. Cran. Uh-oh. We do have a very mobile finish line. What if they all die? Uh-oh. All right. Cran's going to make the first move, but is the timing correct? Is the timing correct? Cran Parfait is doing the move. Cran, are you going to make the jump? Uh-oh. 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 Ah! No! You just missed it. And Mike Kimmel. Wait, is that a win? No! Dude. Oh, Real Ridge. Real Ridge. You got cheated at the end there. You got cheated. I'm kind of tempted to say that Real Ridge kind of won that. I'm kind of tempted to say that Real Ridge kind of won that. Like, got on the edge. Everyone else died. I'm thinking we give the victory to Real Ridge Runner. I'm thinking. Everyone else is getting sucked up and probed and Jesus. I think we're gonna have to make an executive decision. Real Ridge like landed on the edge of the finish and then just didn't let the victory go. You rematch? Run it again? You guys are getting mad. You guys are getting mad that I'm saying we're calling it. All right, fine. Fine, 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 fine. Fine. Everyone chill. Random track. We'll run it back. We'll run it back here. What's this one? Bongo Bogey. All right, we're running it back. Now we have to actually track down a new song. Hang on, let me get the right song fired up for this. Let's do what song do we like here? Bullwhip. All right, here's going to be a good one. Here's a good one. All right, we're off. Round 2. Let's see if we can actually get a winner this time. All right, Mike Kimmel making an early first move again. Real Ridge Runner already taking the lead. All right, Sentinel, they're all right there. Whoa, what the fuck? All right, everyone successfully made the jump. No deaths quite yet. No probing quite yet. All right, Real Ridge Runner making the real first move. Mike Kimmel, once again, going on his own path, taking some steps down. Real Ridge Runner holding the lead, followed by kind of all of them. Honestly, this is anyone's race at this point. Cran Parfait taking sweet old time. Dinna died. Real Ridge Runner won. While Mike Kimmel just died, Centenarian got second, and Cran also died. Wow, that was a much faster race, but hey, Real Ridge kind of saying, hey, you're allowed to run it back. I'm still going to win. Won anyway, followed by Centenarian. But actually, unfortunately, quite a few deaths again. We're definitely going to have to update the health insurance policies for these races because that was a lot of lives lost. So obviously, congratulations to Real Ridge Runner. I will be reaching out to you today to be able to send you your money. And then everyone who's selected off of locals, Centenarian, Dinna, and then Real Ridge, you guys are all going to be getting a Vanquish account. Make sure you are registered on their website. You don't have to buy an account or anything, but you have to have an account so they can send you the free credit. So make sure you do that, and I'll be reaching out to all of you folks a little bit later on today. But shout out to all of you. Round of applause. But geez, what a death. What a death we have going on, folks. Hang on. What do we have in the market right now? I'm seeing... it didn't really break down, but didn't really break out either. Jesus, what is today? Today just kind of sucks. Is this a day that we should have just not been trading? Like, this is just ass. It's kind of just range bound. Like, we try to recover, went horribly. And now is it just breaking down? It's just not looking that good, team. I mean, the NASDAQ legitimately below the low of its past couple trading days here. What is happening? Like, we either kind of need this miraculous like bounce to start now. I mean, the SPY is seemingly hanging on by the edge of its teeth. I mean, the Qs cannot get this breakout to hold whatsoever. Yeah, I'm going to redraw some of this stuff just for my own interest later, but this is just not shaping up to have anything interesting going on. Meta's kind of interesting, Netflix and Microsoft, but the overall market, not looking fun. Not looking fun. I mean, right there, this is getting cracked. Officially putting in a lower high on the 3-minute. We're taking out these recent lows, and it's just getting hit, team. It's getting hit. The Mag 7's puking. It's not looking so bueno. It's not looking so bueno. That's not taking out both of those lows like it was nothing. Like, it's one thing if it recovers intraday, but for right now, the freeze frame of the fact that we're below the low from yesterday and below the low from 2 sessions ago, and like we're just continuing that trend of lower highs and lower lows on the daily, not so good. Not so good. Next resistance level, I don't think you need to be worrying about resistance levels right now, brother. I think you're looking at the chart upside down if you're questioning where the next resistance level's at. 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, all bearish. 4 hour is bullish. 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, all bearish on the Nasdaq as well. 4 hours trying to hold bullish. We are just getting walked down. There is support right here at 50. So you have technical support intraday, you have technical support at 50, and options support at 50 as well. So like, it's not the most insane thing to bounce off of this, but if we get pushed into it, then we're just in that shitty chop zone. So I'm kind of watching either we don't hold 50 and we get sucked into this, or we come back up and actually successfully get this trend line breakout created between the 1015 high and the 1043 high. Kind of just waiting for that, but it's just a crap day. Like I was saying a little bit ago, not all days are made the same. Sometimes you just like have the days where the data is not suggesting whatsoever like a nice trendy day. And as of now, we are just not seeing anything that is really suggesting a nice trendy day. So that's all right. Honestly, if you haven't made a trade today, you should count yourself lucky, because it's just, your odds aren't that good. This is just like a choppy bullshit mess. And when you have a choppy bullshit mess, especially if you don't already have a position, that's it. Just call it an early weekend. You know, just be like, hey, sick, nice, awesome. And be like, hey, it's not good. Remember, you don't have to trade every day. Like, that's not some rule or anything like that. You really don't. What do we have with the big guys here? The big guys are slight net sellers. It's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. Maybe the afternoon will bring us something. Mag 7 is still puking. The SPY just hit a fresh delta low. This is disgusting. Delta high to delta low to a fake out recovery, and then to like, it's just all fucked up, team. It's all fucked up. So I would say either wait for a push of the lows or wait for the trend line breakout. And that's only if you like really want to do something. I think it's completely fine and completely acceptable to literally do nothing and just sit here and say, okay, like, we're going to see how it goes. We're going to see how it goes. Yeah, that's not, the momentum is so shitty. Maybe this trend line. We're just flirting with danger right now. We're just flirting with it. Yeah, that got hit pretty good. I don't know, maybe it comes back up here. Wow. And just to think, we were all complaining about how shitty this was pretty much at market open. What the bulls would give to be back up there now. What the bulls would give. What the bulls would give. 30-minute Orbo. Technically, that was a breakdown. Fuck. These days might just suck ass. That might be the rule. Who knows? Maybe that's the new rule, is monthly OPEX for like this shit. Actually, that's not a good rule, because there are, like, I actively know that some of the days you have that monthly OPEX, there's like a shitload of money to be made if it's a nice trendy day. And right now we're just not getting it. If it breaks down, you could argue it's a pretty decent bear trending day if we break down. But even that, like, as much as the buying's been lethargic, the selling's been kind of lethargic too. Like, I'm thinking of today as before 10 a.m. and after 10 a.m. After 10 a.m., like, what's like really happened here, man? Like, just University of Michigan is a joke of report anyways. You might think that, but the market cares enough about it to make things happen. So you might think it's a joke, but if you're actively trading it, I don't know if your positions are going to find it as a laughing matter because it clearly has a measurable impact on the market. So I think just make sure you're approaching it with the respect it deserves, because it could obviously help you in making money, or it could also like hurt you. The momentum is trash. Momentum is very, very shitty. A little bit of a rare, like, what I find interesting about today is like, we'll bleed, and then there's like a random reversal that gets faded. Like, look at these large green 1 minute bars. Reversal, faded. Reversal, faded. Is this just like another reversal that gets faded? Like large, bullish, singular bars, and then just faded. Kind of a weird pattern thus far of the day. But I don't know. It's a patience day. As boring as that is to say, there's just not the most going on right now. What do we have here on Bookmap? A lot of buyers at 95. A lot of sellers up here at 35. Order book. What is the cumulative delta? Oh, they've smashed it. It's pretty low. Yeah, it tilted negative at 9:45. So we had some shot, and then bleh. Oh man. Maybe a base is being found on Meta and Netflix, but that's a giant maybe. Yeah, folks, if you haven't seen anything that crazy and you don't have a position, I'm coming back to my major idea. This might be a day to call it an early weekend. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy it, because right now this is dog shit. Maybe you have alerts set up for like maybe new intraday highs and lows, but other than that, I feel like you're just going to drive yourself insane if you're watching every 1 minute bar, 3 minute bar. It's just nothing that good's happening, and it is what it is. So obviously play accordingly. Please be safe. And remember, one trade's not going to make you, but one trade could definitely break you. Congratulations to all the competitors. Special shout out to Real Ridge Runner for really winning. Technically, I would even say 2 times. We'll give her 1.5 times, Real Ridge Runner. So I'll be reaching out to all of you, the whole crew who won either on locals or Real Ridge, for you winning the whole thing, because you're getting not only a locals account, but also the $150 of cold hard cash. I did want to remind you, today is the last day for Take Profit Trader. 40% off, no activation fees, 100% of your initial test refunded to you on your first withdrawal if you use that code Goonie. Once again, it is ending. 40% off, no activation fees, 100% first month test refund. The deal is, well, today's the last trading day. It technically ends this weekend, but I assume when it gets to the weekend, you guys aren't thinking about the markets anymore. So really, you should think of today as the last day. So anyway, Take Profit Trader, I just want to let you know the sick deal. It is ending this particular weekend, just so I don't want anyone to forget about that. Anyway, that's what I have for you. I appreciate all the good vibes today. I hope you're making money. If you are, I'm impressed, because today sucks, but hopefully you made a shitload of money this week. Folks, enjoy your weekend. We'll be posting an update video on Sunday, and then we'll be back at it again, Daniel, on Monday morning. So update video Sunday evening, and then streaming once again Monday morning. And just remember, don't take a trade out of boredom. This is, I'm telling you, and I'm saying it the 18th time now, you don't need a trade every day. And right now, we just have a giant bullshit amount of consolidation. It is okay to just chill. That's what I have for you. I appreciate all the good vibes. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.